Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about New Game Plus. I'm going to do a spoiler-free and then a spoiled version of it, just a little bit more details and my thoughts on it. So let's go with the spoiler-free to start with. That's why I'm hiding my UI. I don't even want to give you certain words that are showing up on the UI right now. So basically, New Game Plus, what happens is when you beat the game, you have an option. You'll know because you're at the end of the game and you've beaten the campaign. And I shouldn't say the game. I should say the campaign itself, the main story quest. Once you beat it, you have an option to start a New Game Plus. So what is the benefit of doing a New Game Plus? Well, this is the cool part. I think it's meant to, you've played for several days or whatever. You take a break from the game, you come back, and you're like, oh crap. I don't really want to play my old save, but I don't really want to start over and lose everything. I think that's where the New Game Plus comes in. So, New Game Plus lets you keep your levels and the current EXP is that. So if you're at level 55 and 90%, it's that 90% as well as obtained. All the skills that you've used and upgraded, including to the percentage of the certification. So if something says you want to open something 1,000 times and you're at 999, it will carry over at 999, which is probably the best thing out there. Your powers, which is a bit of a spoiler if you don't know about powers, but we'll just say the word powers, they're carried over as well. And then your magazines, they're carried as well. So you don't see any information in game. I couldn't see anything in the UIs or anything. But if you pick up a magazine and it's like gives you, I don't know, say 5 kilograms of inventory, capacity, that's carried on with you, which is really cool. And then all your research stuff is also carried on with you. I've never actually done any of the research stuff, but it is carried with you. So basically, what's not carried with you is your conversations with the people, the companions, all that information, the love, anything they know about you basically does not get carried over. The POIs obviously don't get carried over. Your credits don't get carried over. Your credits don't get carried over. Your ships don't get carried over. Basically, all that doesn't get carried over. It's like a blank slate. It's almost like a blank, brand new world. It's just your character comes in there basically naked with the knowledge of its level, its traits. It even has the traits. You get to keep your traits, except if you had 3 traits you started with and you destroyed one of your traits, let's just say in your play, and you do a New Game Plus, you're still with 2 traits. You don't actually get that third one restored. So keep that in mind. That carries over. It's a little odd, to be fair. I thought that was funny. But basically, yeah, it's like a fresh start, and it's really cool. Now, we're going to get into the spoilers here a bit because I think this is important to talk about it. And if you want to see it, it's going to be spoilers. Yeah, let's get into it. So anyone who doesn't want spoilers, please stop watching the video now. Okay, so the big benefit of the New Game Plus is you start on a Starborn ship. This is the Starborn ship. And if we go into our tab here, you can see the Starborn Guardian. Now, this is pretty cool. This levels up as you go to New Game Pluses. I believe around level, like the 4th new game you do, this starts to change its stats up to 7, I believe. And then the armor itself, so you get armor as well here, it levels up as well, and I believe it goes from 1 to 10. So if you do 10 New Game Pluses, basically you've capped your armor, and it'll be pretty damn powerful. The other thing that people don't realize, and this is probably beyond important because it's the big part of the game, is the powers. When you level them up, they can be leveled up. So if you go to another temple here and get Gravity Wave, for example, and go to that temple and pick up Gravity Wave in this New Game Plus, it'll turn into Gravity Wave number 2, and they go all the way to 10. And I believe there's 24 powers. I could be wrong. I guess I could count these. Let me count all the dots and figure out how many there are. Okay, it's definitely 24. I'm good, I was right. So basically, when people are doing these New Game Plus runs, they're basically hitting, 10, and they're doing it like one an hour if you're really fast at it. It'll probably take me like 2-3 hours because I'm slow. But what people are doing is they're speed running them. But what they're not doing is these powers. They're just grabbing the artifact. But to grab the powers, you would have to visit 24 temples outside of going to all the artifacts per New Game Plus to level all these up. Now, the good news is if you did this all at once in the regular game, you'd actually only have to do it 9 times. So say the 10th time you would have to do it because you would have, it'd be 10 new games, right? So, and these cap at level 10. But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that these can be leveled up too. I was kind of disappointed in that, but I kind of get the idea. It's kind of a fun overachiever thing, but at the same time, it's like, I was kind of thinking of doing the new game plus 10 times for the armor and ship. But when you think about it, the ship, you can upgrade this ship. You can't, you can use this ship, but then you're going to want to have other, ships and stuff later on, right? You're going to want to have more storage. You want to have all your factories on it, and you're going to do a lot of other things. You're going to build a fleet of ships for transporting goods from your POIs to other POIs and things like that, right? So this ship is fun and it's cool and it's useful, but at the same time, it will become a little obsolete over time for your usage. The armor itself is probably the only thing that will never get obsolete because it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's a little overpowering. Why use medkits? Why use this and that in the end, right? I mean, if you're going to have all these statted up crazy, then you're going to be so powerful. What's the point? You know what I mean? It's going to get to the point where it becomes unbalanced. I think that's the point. There is no balance here. It's fun to, no matter how long you play, you might just find that one piece of gear that might be slightly better than that gear you've been using for 20 or 30 hours kind of thing. And I think that's kind of the enjoyment of having the vanilla system versus this new game plus. So you got that bonus and the powers. I mean, to be fair, the powers are kind of powerful depending which ones you use. Some of them are just meh, but having them 10 levels into them, I mean, that just seems insanity. Plus putting all the effort into it, that seems crazy. But I guess that's what I'm trying to say is just basically there's a lot of effort put into those powers in the new game plus. If you really wanted to do the new game plus proper without wasting your time, you should be doing those powers. But anyways, I kind of wanted to explain what a new game plus is like, so let's just go through. So here's my level. So I guess I just click that, it doesn't really show. So you got my level there. You can see it's part way, it's maybe 40% or so through. That transferred just like that. My mass here is 240, and that's actually correct, which is really cool. So I stripped my other character down. It had a magazine, and it's also 240, so that was really cool. So that magazine did get carried over, which is really neat to see. You can see here shield systems, they're leveled up at 43%. That carried over as well, which was really cool. So all your skills here are carried over. So weightlifting, I have that all maxed out because obviously I want to carry as much weight as possible. And these are not additive, so it's not 10 and 35 and then etc. etc. It's 10, then 25, 50, 100. So when you have all the points into this, you get 100, not 100 and 75 or 85 or whatever that is in total. I was kind of sad about that, but that's normal. Your skill points are carried over here, so I didn't spend 7 skill points. Obviously they're carried over. And then I said stats, which might be odd, but sorry, not that one. B key, there you go. These kind of information, so locations discovered, exploration, things like this. So this is kind of fun. How many people we've killed? 348. I know it sounds odd, but these are the fun things that you would want to kind of hold on to. Those things are kept with you as well, which I think is really cool. So I think the new game plus has its place. I think it's great. I just think once I heard the powers can be leveled 1 to 10, I kind of was sad about that. I don't think that should have been a thing, but at the same time, new game plus isn't meant to be grinded out anyway. So I was just thinking of it as an abusive thing, as okay, I want to do new game plus, just do it 10 times, get the cool armor, get the ship, and then just forget about it. But now, because I know that I would be wasting my time with the powers, I'd rather just do a new game plus. That's my new blank slate, of course, and I'm going to continue playing the game. We'll do it when you do the new game plus. I won't do the campaign because we've already done it once, and then basically from there on, I will just play the game, explore, do other side missions, things like that, and I'll actually enjoy the game in depth. And then, if I come back several months later, then you do the new game plus 2, basically, because, you're doing that fresh start. And the cool thing is you got some cool armor to help you out. You got a nice starter ship, things like that. So it kind of gives you that bonus to start out with. But you also get to keep your levels and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of cool either way. So I just wanted to share that with you, my thoughts on that. A lot of people I noticed on the New Game Plus never talked about the powers, which was a really important one. The ship is pretty damn cool, though. Obviously, you can see here, but I believe this is it. There's no upstairs or downstairs or anything like that. Well, there's this, I guess. Oh, here you go. You got Captain's Locker. Well, you got a bit of room on here. I didn't realize there was even that, to be fair. I haven't even explored this, to be honest. So, cargo hold. So, you got your captains. The captain one's always limited. The cargo hold is the whatever your cargo is. So, you do have decent cargo, 950. The captain one, I think, is usually capped at like 50 or something. 40, actually, yeah. That's where the so when you board ships, everyone has a captain locker at the front of usually on their cockpit. That is where you always board and get it, because that's actually worth usually that's like some of the good loot there, basically. But yeah, it looks really cool here, but I don't think there's anything else here, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So there is no, nooks or crannies. It's a pretty, empty ship in a sense. Not as exciting as the ships we can make, right? So this is kind of why I say the ship will become obsolete. Besides, maybe having a really overpowered fighter, you still want to make your own ship eventually, right? So either way, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed the campaign. It was fun. But I just thought I'd share my thoughts and information on here so that way people know what's happening and they can make their own informed decisions. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and we'll see wonderful people next time. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.